Alright, so Rule 5H is pretty simple. It's that the contraction don't and doesn't, they have to agree with the verbs. Doesn't has an S in it, so this is the one that's for singular verbs. It ends in S. Don't is for plural situations. So just make sure that you don't mix up don't and doesn't. The example here, Darnell, that's singular, doesn't play baseball anymore. You probably wouldn't say Darnell don't play baseball anymore anyway, but make sure that does, the one that ends in S, will agree with the subject. And then the tamales, that's plural, don't. Tamales is plural, so we want the one that doesn't end in S, so that's don't, or the one that doesn't have S in this case. Seemed too spicy for me. So that one's pretty simple. Rule 5I, this one requires you to look at the sentence and make some strategic choices about it. Sometimes the subject will follow the verb, and when the subject follows the verb, you have to find the subject and make sure that the verb agrees with it. So you have to work backwards in the sentence. So here's an example of that. In my opinion, there are several good reasons to vote for that candidate. In this sentence, the word reasons here is the subject, and so you have to kind of work backwards and make sure that the verb that comes before it agrees with it. And then here's another one. Have Shonda and Melanie returned. Shonda and Melanie, this is plural because we have two subjects joined by and. We saw that rule in the previous video. That means we have to make sure we have a plural verb at the beginning here, and that's have instead of has. And then also the contractions here's, there's, when's, and where's incorporate the singular verb is, and therefore should be used only with singular verbs, subjects. So this is a similar rule to doesn't and don't. So let's do some of the exercise down here. Number 1, by the way, where's the tapes? The tapes here is plural, and so we can't say where's the tapes. We have to say where are the tapes. So we're going to cross that out and we're going to write where are. Number 2, doesn't the fountain and the bird bath freeze in the winter? So this sounds correct, but it's actually wrong. Here we have the fountain, and then we have the bird bath. The fountain and the bird bath, these are two subjects joined by and. This means we need a plural verb. Doesn't is singular because it has that S. So you actually have to say don't. Now that feels bad. That sounds bad to people, but it's correct. Don't the fountain and the bird bath freeze in the winter. Number 3. There's the exchange students from Germany and Romania. So the exchange students is plural, so you can't have the S here on theirs. It has to be there are, not there is. So we're going to cross this out and write there are. And number 4. Here is the ingredients. Well, ingredients is plural, so you can't say here is. You can't have that S. It has to be here are. So cross that sucker out and write here are. Number 5. Is Jenny and her sister both in the choral ensemble? Jenny, her sister, these are two subjects joined by the word and we learned that that makes this plural. So we can't say is. Is for singular subjects. So we got to cross this out and replace it with the one that doesn't end in S. And that's are. Are Jenny and her sister both in the choral ensemble? So go ahead and do the bottom part, and I'll read off the answers in just a bit.